Okay, should be good enough. Right, unpause the game. Oh, look at this. Night Edge looks way nicer. Good day. Today I'm gonna be using cheat engine on Terraria. Today I'm gonna be showing you how to catch any item. Any, and I mean any. That includes all the unstackable items, and for example, if I were to delete this, how do you, for example, how do you catch items that are only one of them, you know, stackable, but you have only one? So I'm gonna show you all of that. So I'm gonna start with basic strategies, then a bit more advanced, and then the ultimate, where you can catch swords and, you know, edit them, because I believe that's what you want to do. And of course, if you were to edit them, remember that the rules are the same, that all the changes will be reverted except count and item ID, and other changes will be reverted once you turn off and on the game. So this is, yeah, I had to load it anew, so I'm gonna dig down. I wanna go somewhere where I'm not bothered. So Terraria likes to load everything very slow, and when it does, of course the slow loading sometimes is good, but when it does it like that, okay, it spawned the bunny, it spawned the slime, right? All of the values would be reset. It's almost like a JavaScript. So it's gonna be difficult to catch something, because as I said, the game is still loading. It loads new everything. It loads everything. From me opening my inventory to me taking my axe, stacking my items, it loads everything. So what I need to do is basically, first of all, connect this to the game. Okay, it's connected. Now, first of all, I'm gonna show you a simple way. So for example, I have a lot of wood. So for example, I mean, wood's too easy. For example, stars. I have 196 stars. So in the value, I would need to type 196, first scan, then take one, scan the changed one, take one again. 24, it's one of these. Should, okay, let's see, 200, it's this one. I changed it, I can change it again, I believe. Yes, so this is it. I got the stars, but this catching way is, you know, you can only catch items that you have that only stackable, and you have more than one. So what you simply want to do if you want to quickly catch other items, so right click, find out what writes to this address, or F6. Yes, attach the debugger. Now this will find an instruction, a code. It will find something that keeps on updating the value as I keep on taking items away. As you can see, there's the instruction. If I were to add, it finds it, but it loses the value. And that's, yeah, and it's okay. What is this? Oh, this is the total count of how many stars I have. This count is used for crafting usually. If you get two values, the second one is usually for crafting, you know, the total amount in your inventory. So yeah, okay, I got it. So this one, as I was decreasing, as I was taking from the stack, this instruction kept on writing. So this instruction is what, you know, detects when we take items away. So now if I were to press show disassembler, which I don't really need, so I can right click, show disassembler, what the hell? I can just press find out what addresses this code accesses. So this code, what addresses it writes to, you know. And if I were to take away from the star, as you can see, it catches the star, but as you can see, if I were to wait, this value would get lost. And I can actually, as you can see, yes. So this is the interval as when the items get lost, and I can take any item, like away from any item, and I can catch any stack whatsoever. So yeah, this is how you catch every single stackable. But as you can see, if I were to try and catch the lens, it disappears instantly. So how do I, catch items that I have only one of? Okay, so this was simply stackable items with more than one item in their stack. Now I'm gonna show you how to catch items that are only one of. Now, make sure your game is not at night or not in a highly spawnable location where spawn rate of mobs and everything is a lot smaller. So yeah, because this game likes to update the values so often, and oh my goodness. Now, what's an omni storage? A storage that every single item accesses. Well, you could say any of these slots, but all of these slots get lost, and there's one storage that really interests me, and that storage is your mouse cursor. Now it just has 5 wood, my mouse cursor. Now it has 24 slime, which is gel. It has 24, gel. So my mouse cursor has its own storage system. Let's catch that. Now mouse cursor really likes to change. So you need to do this quick, and preferably not at night. So I have 4. Let's scan 4. And I messed up. I threw it out. Okay, so let's repeat. I'm gonna grab 4. First scan. Press the top of the tab. And then grab some more. Okay, 5. Top of the tab. 6. And I got nothing. Which is to be expected, because this is still a fresh launch of the save file, French launch of the game, fresh launch of the game, not French. What we need to do to reduce the spawn rate of mobs without, the entity limit, enable the speed hack, and let's reduce it to 0.1. Apply. The game will run a lot slower. No, it does not lag, it just is slow. So now we can actually try and catch. So it's gonna be a lot slower. I have 4, okay, let's scan with 4. First scan. Now I have 5, okay, let's scan 5. 6, okay, let's try 6. We got it. Is it this? Let's change it. Yes, it's this. Okay, now quickly do the same. Right click, find our rights to this address or F6. And now take 1. Okay, there we go. We're done. Now we can actually let the game run smoothly. We're done. The value will soon get lost. As you can see, it stays a lot longer. And now it got lost. But it's okay. We got the value. As you can see, it does not update anymore because it changed. Now this value means something else, something different at all. So this was the first instruction that triggered, and it triggered when we took one item. So if I were to right click, find out what address is this code accesses, and as you can see, if I were to take any item, I can see the items in my mouse, and this is if I would double click, it adds to my cheat engine. This tab, I can change the amount. Right? What? Wait, it didn't change. What? Now you're gonna make me look like a liar. What is this? Should have 10. This should be it. Oh, not you. Let's try. Let's see. There we go. Okay. Yes, it works. And now, if I, of course, were to take this one thing, you need to right click, not the left click, but the right click. Okay, you lost it. You can do this as many times as you want. So until you got it, until it does not change as fast. Holy moly. Okay, what? Reduce the speed again. As I said, this game loves to do. Or actually, we don't need to do this. Let's not do it like this. For example, if you have a lot of items that you have only one of, and you need to, reduce the speed and do this every single time, now that's just stupid. So let's do this not stupidly. And that's actually... Okay, so it was this first one. This first instruction. Let's just simply show this assembler. And now in here, this is the code that keeps on increasing the stack in the mouse cursor. It's an increase. Let's simply press tools, auto assemble or control A. And now template, A or B injection or shift control A. Okay, something random with letters. Okay, now beyond the blue and red, there's the code. This is the code. This is the increase this value. No, not value, this address increase. So basically this is the code that increases this address by something. I'm just simply gonna, instead of this increase, I'm just simply gonna type add. This means add, add. Now comma, and now let's type whatever amount I want. Now this amount will be changed into hexadecimal. So for example, if I were to type 10, it's gonna be 16. If I were to type 20, it's gonna be 32. 1 is 1, we share that. If you want, normal numbers, I believe a hashtag is in place, right? I believe a hashtag. Let's see. File assigned to current sheet table. When you're done, it appears right over here. I can actually close this. If I were to activate, you're gonna see that this changes into our script, and as we named it. And if I were to now right click and take an item, it goes into 10. Yes, now it goes into 10 because I added a hashtag in front of the number. If I would not have a hashtag, okay, let's reactivate the script. And now if I were to go, as you can see, it's a 16 every single time I take an item. And you can actually increase, your single items. This only works for stackable because you cannot right click take weapons, for example. So, okay, we covered every single stackable item. Now let's cover every single unstackable item and stackable item. How do we catch every single item that we can take into our mouse cursor? Because the mouse cursor, as I saw, is the best inventory system. Okay, so basically, you can save this script, you can, if you want, you can save this too. It's gonna be saved automatically. This will be reset. These are reset, actually. The script, rename it, and then duping or whatever. Okay, now we're gonna catch the mouse cursor. Now, first of all, okay, it's disabled. Good. So I like my numbers to be 9,995. I like those numbers. Why that number I like? Because if I were to scan for that number, there's only 15 results, which is very nice. I must say, the less results, the better. So now we're simply gonna do this. First of all, go into settings in Cheat Engine, and where is it? Hotkeys. Now set a hotkey for this. Pause the selected process, which is, Terraria. I have it as F12. This is to clear it, set a hotkey, and then okay, have a hotkey. I use F12 because, And what I do is simply I press F12. This blinks as the Terraria is paused, and Terraria, the Windows acts as Terraria is crashing. You know, it crashed, and it would be like white loading, says the process has stopped and stuff. You know, press F12 again, and it works. And oh, and it takes a screenshot even because F12. Anyways, okay. Now, what we're gonna do is simply. It likes to take a screenshot, I see. Okay. I'm gonna apply the speed hack, which is to slow down the game. Now, I'm gonna take this wood into my mouse. As soon as I take it, I press F12. Now I'm gonna scan for this exact value as much as I have, and as you can see, there's way more results. Now I'm gonna show you what would happen if I were to do this without the speed hack and without pausing. Let me unpause. Instantly, a bunch of values change. Let's rescan again because it's still the same value. I said it's still the same value. And now if I were to place it down, as you can see, nothing changes. Because one of those values that instantly changed is one that, you know, is responsible for the mouse cursor. Partially. So, that's what we're gonna catch. We're gonna catch something that changes in milliseconds. Slow down the game as much as possible. You can even add another 0 if you wish. I'm actually gonna do that actually. Apply. The game is gonna be hella slow. But I have muscle training. I know how to move my mouse in laggy situations. I'm gonna do the same thing. I'm gonna take this stack. As soon as I take it, F12 to pause the game, you know. Because my hotkey is F12 to pause the game. You need to spam click with such a lag. So new scan, first scan. When the game is paused, you can easily just walk around. The code does not change, it does not move when it's paused. That's the reason why we pause the game. Okay. We got 25 found values. It's pretty nice, it's pretty good. Because the game moves so slow, a bunch of those values that you know what you saw, 65 there was, a bunch of those values didn't even change. But the mouse cursor amount did change, so the most important value had to be changed because the game says so, you know. So let's Control A, press this arrow to put them all down. For this actually I'm gonna delete the duping because I'm not gonna use it because I don't really want it, I don't really need it. Okay, we got a bunch of values. Now if I were to change them all into something, it would not update in game because the game is paused. I would need to, for example, select the top and select something in the half whilst holding shift to select everything in between. Now let's double click the value and change this value into 9,000 like this, but in the end instead of 5 there's 4. So now, really quickly, unpause and pause the game again. Okay, it's done. Now, you would say, nothing had changed. Well, it would have changed if it would have changed. That means we changed the wrong value. Let's change all of these into 6s with the end. Let's quickly do that again. There we go. It changed. So, now let's... What is this? No. Get out. I mean, it's the wrong value. It's one of those 6s, so we can delete all of these. You know, easier to keep a track. Let's change half again into with 7s. Okay, do the same thing. Okay, it's one of the 7s. Let's do this. Oh. Oh no! I didn't pause the game. No. Oh, I might need to restart. Oi, oi, oi. Okay. Okay. Keep on checking that one. So it starts to change, but not all the values change that fast. So we got a bit more time than a few. I mean, it's like, I don't know, it's like 2 seconds before it changes. Yeah, like a second, like 2 seconds before the value changes. So yeah, but check this to make sure it's paused. Okay, let's change a few more values. No, let's actually just see which one it is. So this one will be 9991, 9992, 9993, and whichever it is, that one is the correct one. Okay, if it's 8, it's the 8 one. Okay, it's the free. Oh, stop. Okay, this one, right click, find out what writes to this address. The most important thing when the value keeps on changing so fast is to catch any sort of code, any sort of instruction, something to grab on, something to leech on. Okay, so I'm back, I caught it. Now it's 9,9995, and as you can see, this is the value. I'm gonna set it to 8 to show you, pause and pause, it's the correct value. Okay, now right click, not find out what writes to this address, but find out what accesses this address, F5. Now in this instruction, it's not what writes, not what changes this address, but what looks at this address, what checks this address, what just looks at it and stuff. So I don't know how this, again, I don't know. Wow. Let me quickly try and grab those stars, actually. But I don't believe it's gonna. Hold on, give me a yes. Okay, let's disable the speed hack because I broke the value. Now you would say, what happened? So it seems I did not need to grab those stars. What I simply needed to do is just simply get this open and get these free instructions active. And these free, it should be these free. I hope they're not lower. These the ones that changed when it broke, so these are the correct ones. And now I believe the top one worked for me, so I just simply gonna first of all right click, find out what addresses this code accesses, and let's see. If I were to take something, oh yeah, we got it. So you can simply, like the top instruction, if it works, it works. Now how do you know if it works? Now it loads a bunch of values and you would say, what is this? Now go to the bottom, select the bottom one to mark it. Now let's for example take this giant stack so you would know if it works. Let's take it. It loads a bunch of values. If I were to scroll a bit, just below it is the stack in the mouse. And if you want to edit, you double click and there we have it. Let me show you. Let's change it into 9 to be beautiful. And there we go. It's the correct thing. This is how you catch any item. So simply to catch a weapon, go to the bottom, of course, select. Let's grab Knight's Edge, 42 melee, okay. It loads. Where's the value? Oh, did I need to... Where's my value? Where's my... I have the edge. What? Oh, there we go. It's this one. It just updated? Really? Okay, so this is it. How can I tell? Because the count keeps on ticking, keeps on checking. So as you can see, it keeps on updating and not updating. It keeps on getting lost, but something still leeches on and keeps the count going. So if I were to click this, still goes on, right? Not anymore. Now it's this one. Okay, it goes. Of course, if you want this to stop, pause the game. Simply pause the game. Then you're gonna have it, and you can simply go into, you know, right click, browse this memory region, and now in here you can find it. For example, what is its damage? It was 42. Could it be this one? I haven't looked at this for quite some time, so I don't know what changes what. Let's, I don't know, increase this one by, let's add a 0. Now let's unpause the game and let's see. Oh yeah, I mean, we have 2 knight's edges, but one is a bit stronger, a bit sharper. Let's actually increase it some more. So you can probably just locate it simply, or you can just wait long enough for it to spawn in the bottom. It should be this one actually. Like for now, okay, we got it. Ticks. Pause the game. It should be this one, right? Browse this memory region. This is the, yes, okay. So basically the top value is F. Let's put a few Fs. Okay, should be good enough, right? Unpause the game. Oh, look at this. Knight's Edge looks way nicer. Okay, so yeah, this is basically how you catch unstackable items, like this. The method is a bit maybe wonky, but you know you can catch any item that you can take into your mouse. I believe this is what the commenter intended, you know, this to be used for. So yeah, that is all. Thanks for watching. So a little note as I was testing this a bit, none of those saved codes, like in advanced options, worked like after I relaunched the game. But the script of, you know, duping items does work. So you would need to make a script for some sort. What the fuck? What fucking script would you make